Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. Because of the holidays, I've been thinking a lot about family. My dad died from complications of excess weight a couple of years ago. Other people might think he died from a heart attack or heart disease, but what really impacted the quality of his life and what ultimately killed him was his weight. Complications from his weight. As a kid, I sometimes used to get mad when he didn't take care of his health, especially because I knew that his weight was creating or at least contributing to problems like high cholesterol and heart disease. But I don't blame him for that now because I truly understand that losing weight and keeping it off is hard. It's really hard. And to be honest, for some people, it feels impossible. My dad struggled with weight for most of his life, and it makes me sad to know how much brain space it took up when it really didn't have to. I've been there, so if your weight is taking up too much time and too much brain space, I get it. You're not alone. That's the main thing I want you to know today. The majority of the people in the U.S. are struggling, and they're struggling at younger ages than ever before. I wish my dad had lived long enough to take a GLP-1 medication for weight loss. It probably would have helped his blood sugar, his sleep apnea, his metabolic syndrome, and of course his weight. He died just a few months before Zepbound, also known as tirzepatide, was FDA approved. If he had access to tirzepatide in his 50s or 60s or even 70s, it would have been life-saving for him, and it would have given him more years with his family. I would have loved for him to have more years. Of course, the GLP-1 receptor agonist medications, the GLP-1s as we call them, have for the first time ever interrupted our collective weight gain as a nation. In the U.S., our average weight, often reported as body mass index, is finally going down. On one hand, it's disappointing that it takes the widespread use of GLP-1s to make that happen, but at least with the help of GLP-1s, many people now have time in that moment between recognizing that you want to eat or that you're going to eat and impulsively eating what feels good in the moment or how much feels good, which may not be what you'd actually like to choose. When you're not ravenous, you can take a moment to think through what you'd like to eat. And I find with that pause, people tap into their knowledge to make healthy choices. And without food noise filling your brain with an avalanche of thoughts about irresistible foods, healthy choices do become easier. On GLP-1s, people are just less hungry overall. So it's a combination of having more peace and calm around the topic of food, less food desire, and also just less drive to eat. If you've never had food noise, let me explain. I certainly had it back when I was in my teens and 20s, and I'm living proof that it's possible to get past it, which I was lucky to be able to do before the dawn of the GLP-1s, and which you can do too. When you have food noise, food is ever present on your mind. For example, you might be eating breakfast and you're already thinking about what you'd like to eat for lunch. And sometimes you don't even make it to your next meal before thoughts of food become ever louder, like the crescendo of a drum beating with increasing intensity and volume. Often people find that they eat just to shut down the food noise or to be less distracted by it. Or they might overeat because they've been hyper-focused on their desire and drive for food, and it can feel a bit out of control. Sometimes it feels this way for people if they have binge eating disorder or if they've been really restricting what they eat. Unrelenting food noise can definitely trigger a binge and can just be present when people are dieting. While not everyone has relentless food noise, we all understand the feeling of being distracted by food thoughts. Here's an example. We've been playing a lot of cards lately, so when I'm playing a card game with my husband and kids, and if they have food on the table and they're snacking, I'll find myself starting to think about snacking too, even if I wasn't thinking about it before, and even if I'm not hungry. And the more their snacks are treats that I like, the more my thoughts turn to food also. This is pretty normal, right? We all have this. There have certainly been times when the food thoughts, the food noise is just too distracting. So I'll get up and grab a snack too. This is far easier to manage now because I spend my days helping people with strategies to deal with situations like this, and that helps me too. We don't really know if food noise is a bigger problem for people as our food supply has been taken over by ultra-processed and packaged foods, but it might be. I think so. These foods are designed to hook us and to make us hungrier, so we eat more in one sitting. We're thinking about eating more after eating ultra-processed foods. Most people I see don't have food addiction, excessive food noise, or binge eating disorder, but many people do. I think of packaged and ultra-processed foods a lot like cigarettes. Back in the day when smoking was very common, not everyone who smoked socially had trouble quitting. Of course, the more a person smoked and the longer a person smoked, the more likely they were to struggle when they decided to cut back or quit. That's what it's like with ultra-processed foods. Some people could be plopped onto a magical island of healthy food and they'd be fine. They were just eating the ultra-processed foods because they're available, they're convenient, cheap, they provide a quick hit of pleasure. Other people are eating them, and so on. But they'd be just as happy eating real food, made from scratch with real ingredients. But some people would really struggle to quit, just like many people struggled to quit smoking. I always talk about smoking like no one does it because the rates of smoking are so much lower than ever before. But I know there are still plenty of people out there on that struggle bus too. Being hooked on anything is rough. I love sweets, I love red wine, and it takes attention to make sure I limit those things for the benefit of my health, which I generally do. But I've gone through waves when it's harder and other times it's easier. Right now, it's easy peasy to limit my wine to a glass or two once a week with little thought or effort. No problem. But right now, limiting sweets is more of a slog, especially this time of year, and with a daughter who loves to bake. If it's hard for you this time of year too, or if you're on the weight loss struggle bus, don't worry. I have a very simple message today about how to live a life that supports weight loss, better health, and longevity. Before we get to that message, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. Just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Olson, physician and founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. This holiday season, let's be honest. How many lotions, fuzzy socks, and scented candles does one woman really need? You've got plenty, am I right? So this year, instead of collecting more stuff, why not ask for what you really want? Support with weight loss, better habits, and feeling amazing in the new year. Inside my program, we'll help you make simple changes that last. No gift receipt required. Give yourself the holiday gift that won't end up in a donation box. Come join us at smartweightlosscoaching.com. And we're back. I'd like to switch gears to talk about solutions for excess weight. Simple solutions, because most of us don't have the time or the bandwidth for complicated programming, especially during the holidays. Listen, GLP-1s are out there. They're dropping in price, and we have new medications coming out soon too. So if your body mass index is 30 or higher, or if it's 27 and you've got diabetes, high cholesterol, or sleep apnea, I definitely encourage you to talk with your doctor about this medication because it can be a game changer. As I mentioned, it's changing our country's average BMI already, which is incredible given how expensive these medicines are and how many people don't have access to them yet. But whether you're on GLP-1s, older weight loss medications, or on no weight loss medications at all, which is probably most of you, there are two very simple things you can do to lose weight starting immediately. And I'd encourage you to do these things because there's probably someone out there who's worried about you, just like I used to worry about my dad. I have two easy things for you to do today. Step 1 and step 2. Because sometimes weight loss feels like a lot. It can seem overwhelming, especially this time of year when there are more food and drink temptations and when you're probably busier than ever. If that's how you feel, I've got you. Step 1 is simply to show up and engage with someone. Connect with someone willing to support you with your effort to lose weight, maintain your weight, or improve your health. What I mean by that is to move from that vague sense that you should be doing more than you're doing to actually connecting with someone who can help. That could be someone like me or the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Program, but it can also be your best friend, your neighbor, your coworker, your spouse, your doctor, another program, whatever sounds appealing to you, whoever sounds appealing. If you can reach out to someone and set up a weekly check-in or a walk or a call, or simply make that first outreach to ask for support, you're one step closer to making real progress. While I'm working with clients and I mention the value of connection for weight loss and better health, I see them nodding their heads in agreement. But they're a little surprised when I push harder and ask for specifics. Who do you want to connect with for support? Give me their name. Just the first name is fine. Okay. How are you going to reach out? Text? Phone call? In person? And when are you going to reach out? Often people will say something like, I'm going to text my friend Beth and see if she can get together to take a walk or meet for coffee tomorrow and talk. And then I'll say, go ahead. You can text Beth now, and maybe we'll find out right away if she's available to walk this week or to meet for coffee tomorrow. I love that because it's really funny to see the look on someone's face when I tell them to go ahead and text their friend during their appointment with me. But I found it's so critical to take that step when we're together because without it, the rate of people who actually do reach out to someone is so much lower than when I ask them to do it in real time with me sitting right there waiting. So, for those of you listening who aren't quite where you want to be with your weight or your healthy habits, go ahead. I'll wait. Who do you want to text? And what do you want to do with that person? How can they help you? And when can you connect? I'm going to do this with you because we can all take these steps to be healthier, right? Sometimes it really helps to reach out to someone who has a healthy habit already that you want to emulate. I'm going to text my sister, Christine, because I need a nudge to get back into yoga. I don't need a nudge. I want a nudge. I've been a little sporadic lately, and I know she's super consistent about it. I'll connect with her, and I'll ask her to give me a hand, which I know she'll be happy to do. I hope you're listening, Christine, because I'm texting you in a few minutes right after recording today's episode. Okay, for the rest of you, did you text someone? I'm talking to you. Did you think of a program, a person, or something that would help you have a weekly check-in? Okay, if so, you're ready for step 2. I told you today's going to be easy, right? We don't always have to do the hard things first. Step 2 is to take one action every day for your health or your weight. One action. I love this so much more than telling you what you can't do. Stop doing this, stop doing that. You're just going to pick one action. It can be small, it can be easy, and you're going to do that each day. This could really be its own entire podcast because I'm in love with the power of stringing together 365 baby steps in a year to help you with your weight. You know that's what I'm trying to do for you and for myself every week when we wrap up with your NBA, your next best action, right? It's just one action you can take today, maybe even right now, to move in a forward direction. Sometimes we'll take bigger actions, of course, when our goals are lofty, but every day doesn't have to include a heroic weight loss effort. A great action for today might be something simple. I'll give you a handful of quick and easy NBAs that you might consider for today, and maybe they'll spark something for you. You could eat an apple now. Just eat one now, especially if you know it will stave off some other less healthy snack later. You could set an alarm for 9 p.m. to remind yourself to wind down early and get ready for bed with lights out by 10. Notice that your next best action is just setting the alarm for 9 p.m. and then pre-committing to get ready for bed when it pings you. Just set the alarm. You could do the official 7-minute workout. Google it. You'll find about a zillion versions of it. No gear or health club membership is required. You can do it with very little space, and it only takes 7 minutes. Googling the 7-minute workout would be an awesome MBA, especially if you do it. You could search on YouTube for a 1-minute guided meditation to help manage your stress. The MBA is simply the act of going online and finding it. It won't take long. You could run to the store and buy a bag of frozen edamame on your way home today, so you'll have a vegetable or an extra vegetable to eat with your dinner. What I'm saying is that right now, during this busy holiday and end of the year time, you can simply connect with people who will support you and take one small action every day to bolster your health or weight loss goals. Don't get bogged down in creating some new complicated exercise routine for every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and something different for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's too much for right now. I think it's too much. We have to give ourselves a break without giving ourselves a pass to do nothing. If you do nothing, you're likely to gain weight this time of year. Most people do. But if you're checking in with someone once a week and you're taking one small action every day, you'll be in a better place in 2026. This time of year, I think with a lot of fondness about my dad and how I loved when he and my bonus mom would visit over the holidays. His weight really mattered to him, and as he got older, his health really mattered too. I think he used to feel powerless to change it, but even without access to the GLP-1s that we have today, he eventually saw the power of support and of small actions. He moved to water instead of Pepsi. He had grapes for dessert instead of ice cream. A small portion-controlled ice cream cup instead of a big bowl when he did have some. How about you? Did you text your friend? And how about making an MBA for today? And then do one again tomorrow and the next day. And I'll be back next week to remind you to keep doing it over and over again. Just one extra action every day for your health and your weight. You've got this. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.